Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time of watching a video of mine, thank you for stopping by. And today's video is going to be my top 5 productivity tips that I want to share with you guys. We all know what's happening in the world and people are having mental breakdowns, people are losing their structure, people are feeling unproductive. And I'm just not going to come here and pretend as if everything is okay with me. There are days when social media is even stressful to be on. You just want to close your eyes and exist and just shut everything out. And it's understandable because we are in an era where everything is just so strange. So I'm just going to share with you guys some things I've been practicing, some tips, just to help you guys throughout this situation. I mean, you could do it, you could decide not to do it, but I just thought I'd just come here and share with you guys what I've been doing. So have a structure or create a new routine. Now, a lot of people just kind of wake up, eat, sleep, movies, social media, and even with social media, there are a lot of negative information going around. People are sharing bad stuff. So even with that, you have to be really careful about where you go, what you do, how much time you spend on there. But then at the same time, we don't know when this thing is going to end. We don't know when everything is going to go back to normal. You can't possibly wake up, eat, sleep, movies, social media every day. For my country, we've been on lockdown for 1 week and 1 day so far. Other countries have been on lockdown longer. Other countries are going to be on lockdown like for a month. I mean, we really don't know when things are going to get back to normal. So you should have a structure or a routine that kind of puts meaning into your day, just like before. So it shouldn't be the eat, sleep, movies kind of thing. It should be one particular thing that kind of makes you feel a little bit more productive than usual. So I'm not going to give you ideas, but then you definitely have a fair idea of what that will be. It could be something that's related to what you do, like professionally or anything of that sort. Point number 2, which is kind of related to the first point, do not completely shun your regular routine. Stick to some parts of it. So for me, before everything kind of went crazy, my regular routine for weekdays was I wake up at 4:30. By 6 I'm out of the house. By 8:30 I'm at work. I leave work around 4:30, get home by 6:30, and sleep around 9:30, 10. So that was my regular routine. Of course, there are times that I eat and work, social media and all of that. But then, so if you want to stick to some parts of your routine, it could be the time you eat, it could be the time you wake up, it could be the time you sleep. Just stick to some parts of your routine so that you don't just feel so out of place. Because on weekends, I wake up around 6, 7, and on weekdays, as I said, I wake up around 4:30. Now imagine if for the next 2 weeks, 1 month, I'm waking up at either earlier than that or later than that. And actually, it's something that I was doing. I was waking up around 8, 9, and then I realized that I wasn't actually feeling well rested or relaxed. It was like if you wake up at 8:30, 9, I still feel stressed. So for like a couple of days now, I've been trying to wake up early, but even when I wake up, I don't get out of bed. I'm just in bed. Sometimes I'm planning my day. Sometimes I'm just, if like I'm going to record a video, I plan the video, all of that. So just find some parts of your former routine or your usual routine to stick to, and I think that is going to help you kind of feel normal in this situation. Point number 3, do not do everything at once. So what you normally do in a day in terms of work, which can be domestic, professional, school, should be spread across 2 or 3 days. Or if it is 2 or 3 hours in the morning, it can be 1.5 in the morning and then 1.5 in the evening. So a lot of times for me, maybe I have like a lot of write-ups to do. I have to post on social media, all of that in a day. And I do that in a day because I know that the next day there's definitely going to be more work to do, more things to finish up on and all of that. And now it's not really like that. The work is not coming like as regularly as it used to. So instead of doing everything one day and then feeling really stressed one day and then the rest of the days you're like, what's happening? You should just spread it across. So for example, if formally for me, let's say formally I'll record like 3 videos in one day, I can do it like I record one today, one tomorrow, one the next day, or I record one today, 2 days I record another one, 2 days I record another one. That way you're kind of spreading the stress. So at the end of the day, you find out that you are regularly doing something that puts meaning to your day, which is kind of related to the first point that I said. Find something. No, or was that the first point? Yeah, fine. No, that was the second point, or the first point. Yeah, the second point. Find something that was in a formal routine that can make you feel, productive. So you do things spread across, so that you are not very busy one day and then for the next like 1 week you're like, I don't know what I'm doing with myself. So you get the point. So if it's writing a book, instead of writing 3 chapters one day, you can just spread it across, so that all that time left you can actually do something. And at the same time, you can actually rest, because this time is when you really have to make time for yourself, which brings me to my next point. Have chill days. Like, not always work, but they're not also always chill days. You should definitely have days when you just Netflix and chill, or you should have times during the day when you like Netflix and chill, or just YouTube, or whatever it is that you do for fun or for chilling. It could be reading a book, it could be listening to a podcast, an audiobook, watching YouTube videos, because at the end of the day, YouTube videos, some actually really teach you stuff, and so you can just do that. Or if you just want to watch movies also do teach us stuff, so you can just do that. But then there should be definitely chill days. So if you're always compiling things to do every day, you're definitely going to break down. And even on the regular day, we do break down. Talk of a time when everything is just so different. So you should definitely have chill days. Not always work, but they're not always chill. Next point, focus on what makes you happy. Now, this point is kind of related to the point that I just raised. So focus on what makes you happy, what gives you comfort and brings you peace. It could be having that cup of tea or coffee. It could be reading a book. It could be talking to a loved one. It could be creating content. It could be, that guilty pleasure. We could be, having a cookie, or a piece of cake or something. Find something that gives you that peace, brings you comfort, makes you happy. For me, honestly, creating content, like recording a video, can be stressful sometimes, but then when I'm done recording and I'm editing, that feeling, knowing that I've created good content that I'm about to share, that makes me happy. Reading a book makes me happy. Writing makes me happy. So I'm kind of working on like a storybook or a novel, and just writing, and if it's just a paragraph or half a paragraph, half a chapter, that brings me peace. That makes me happy. Talking or chatting with my mom, with my friends, with my sister, that makes me happy. So for me, I'm one of the lucky people who doesn't stay alone, so I do still have some sort of socialization going on, but there are people who live alone. So this is the time where you have to, the video calls and then the voice calls, just to actually have be in touch with reality, or with people a little bit, so just do something that, there are some people that when you talk to, you just feel so much at peace. So definitely do that. Find time for that. I think this is the last point. It was something that I just randomly wrote, but then it kind of cuts across everything that I mentioned. So plan into detail and not general. Now, for example, for me, let's say previously I'll be like, oh, I want to write chapter 1 of my novel, or I want to record a video, but then now you have to plan into detail. So instead of saying that you just want to write, okay, so no, let me rephrase. So formally I'll be like, oh, I just want to write a bit of my novel, or I just want to create content. But now instead of that, it could be that, oh, I want to write chapter 1 of my novel, or I want to write half of chapter 1 of my novel, or I want to create this particular content, and plan into detail leading up to the content. Some contents are there, you just sit down and record. This one, it looks like I just sat down to record, but actually wrote these points like 2 days ago, and then yesterday I also kind of refreshed and made sure that everything that I wrote made sense and was practical. So at the end of the day, you are not even though I planned the content like 2 days ago, I didn't just get up and start recording. So plan into detail. If there's something you want to do, just do, plan. Today I'm going to do this, tomorrow I'm going to do this. So as you can tell, it kind of has to do with the previous point that I mentioned, saying do not do everything at once. So if you break down your plan into like tiny segments, then you have something to do for a considerable amount of time in your day, and then you're not just existing. So those are, I kind of didn't go according to what I wrote, but then I'm just going to still. So the first point that I wrote was, do not completely shun your regular routine, stick to some parts of it. So as I said, the time you eat, the time you sleep, the time you wake up, the time you take a bath, whatever it is. Do not do everything at once. What you normally do in a day, you can do like across like 3 days or something. Focus on what makes you happy, gives you peace, gives you comfort, and brings you peace. So as I said, it could be that cup of tea, like 30 minutes, you're just sipping on a cup of tea and just, relaxing, or whatever it is. Have chill days. You don't always have to work, but then at the same time, you don't always have to, Netflix and chill. Have a structure, create a new routine that can kind of, help you make sense of everything that's happening now. And the last point, plan into detail and not in general. So these are my 5-6 productivity tips that I want to share with you guys, or something that's going to help us get through what we are currently experiencing. I hope you guys do practice them. If it does help you, then do leave a comment down below for me. And of course, if you also have anything to share that's going to help us out, please do share it. We all need help right now. And I'll definitely see you guys in another video. Bye.